All right, everyone, we should be going out live. This is also being recorded for the audio version of the podcast, so that will be going out on all the major podcast platforms after we wrap up, and it will be available on the Woman Angler and Adventure website as well. So the link is thewomanangler.com, nice and easy. But I have a special guest today, and it's always fun to do a video episode. So if you want to watch the video version of it, you can go on the Woman Angler YouTube. It's also going out to Facebook and LinkedIn. So you have lots of options. But Nichole Mara, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you so much, Angie, and thank you for having me. I'm very excited.
Yeah, I'm so glad that we were able to connect and we both share a passion for fishing and we're connected through Freedom Boat Club now. So lots of
Yes.
exciting things to talk about. But I want to kind of start off with if you could introduce yourself to the audience and tell us a little bit about your journey, how you got into the whole world of bass fishing.
Yeah, so Nichole Mara, as Angie said, I also work for Freedom Boat Club. I am the marketing activation specialist for the Midwest region. So Illinois, Wisconsin, Toronto, I will be covering that. And the cool connection about Angie and I is not only we work at Freedom Boat Club, but we both have such a strong passion for fishing. So my passion for being on the water and fishing in general started at a super young age. My dad used to take me out on the boat literally when I was in diapers and a bottle, and just grew up on the water, ice fishing, salmon fishing, you name it. We were out there doing it. And then as far as bass fishing specifically, super neat, and not a lot of people know this, but I'm located in Illinois, and Illinois was the first state to actually make bass fishing a high school sport. So in Illinois, you can compete. It started when I was a freshman. I was very fortunate enough to fish my 4 years of high school bass fishing, and then that really got me into tournament fishing as a whole.
Very cool. I did not know that about Illinois.
Yeah.
I don't usually think Illinois, oh, bass fishing. So, you know,
I know. I wish you could have seen my face when it was introduced. I was just like, yes, yes. Yeah, it was super neat.
I know a lot of people I've talked to on the podcast are like, I wish that was a thing when I was in school. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
Um,
and it's definitely blown up now. That's for sure. Most of the states have it, and at the college level now too. Yeah, it is very big.
yeah, and you're involved in that as well. So and you wear a lot of hats. So kind of tell everybody all the different facets besides fishing
Yeah.
tournaments, working for Freedom Boat Club, but you do some other stuff as well.
Yeah, so after my 4 years of fishing in high school, I started coaching and being a boat captain for the high school I fished at. So that's been awesome. Been doing that a long time, really getting, you know, the youth involved in fishing. I also was a teacher, so I taught PE and health and incorporated fishing with that too, and started a middle school fishing club, which was super cool.
Nice.
Along with that, my dad and I are also tournament directors for a local division, Stars and Stripes, here in Illinois. So we have been doing that for about 10 years now. And then I also was in marine sales since I was 14. So what is that now? I forgot how old I was. My birthday's this week.
Nice.
But
Happy.
yeah, thank you. Yeah, did that for over 15 years and worked with a lot of different companies promoting fishing, women in the industry. Yeah.
Wow. And I think a lot of people don't realize what a time commitment it is to be even with the high school fishing. Like you're the captain essentially. You're taking these kids out, and we need captains. A lot of
Yeah.
times it's hard to find people because I've done it. I got to experience doing it one time so far.
Yeah.
You get there super early in the morning, just like the kids, and you're driving the boat, and then they're responsible for the fishing end of it. So
Yeah, it is. It's a lot. I'm actually working on trying to navigate my schedule this year with Freedom Boat Club and then my own personal tournaments and all our member events to see. Hopefully, I can still continue on doing it. But if not, definitely still playing a role in the high school bass fishing some way or another for sure.
So tournament fishing, what are you affiliated with a certain league that you fish with on that level? And then like how many tournaments do you usually try to get in a year?
So I used to fish when I was trying to be a professional angler, which was also in my past. Um, oh, 35 to 40
Wow,
probably.
dang.
Now it's definitely dialed back. Like I said, my dad and I run a Stars and Stripes division, which is kind of just a local bass circuit around our area. Fish a lot of local stuff. More for fun now, definitely, than the whole, professional experience. But in the past, fish a lot of FLW events, the tour, fish BFLs, all sorts of different stuff.
So you've been in it for a long time and in the marine
Yeah.
industry for a really long time. And, both are very male dominated industries. And starting off so young, like, have you run into any challenges with being a female in fishing or in the marine space?
Oh yeah. I mean, you name it, we have to go through it and it's definitely every day, especially in sales, like proving yourself and putting in the work to, if I was working a boat show, really getting down all the specs of the different models for the boats. So when that, customer asks, I'm on my A game and I know the answer. As far as tournament fishing, a lot of people will say, "Oh, you're a woman in the industry, you can get sponsors and sponsorships, so much more easily." But honestly, I have found that that is not the case. Like I said, you are definitely continuing to drive, continuing to prove yourself every day, and not only from the angling aspect, but being able to talk, make those connections, know about the product, so overall being knowledgeable about it. And again, too, when you get those questions kind of tossed at you, they can pick up if you know your stuff or not, so just always being on your A game for sure.
Yeah, and there could maybe even be a little more pressure being a woman, because if you don't know everything, then they're going to,
Yeah,
discount you right away and be like, oh, well, she doesn't know what she's talking about. So um,
definitely.
I think there is kind of that assumption out there that we have an easier time. But like you said, it's just not the case.
Yeah.
and
Oh,
and
yeah.
earlier on, when this podcast first started, it was way back in 2018, and
Yeah.
it's gotten better. We've been making strides in the right direction, but back then there wasn't a lot of companies willing to support women in
Yeah.
fishing. So now I think the tide's been turning a little bit, and they're starting to see, we need to have both men and female representation because women, the the segment of women that are getting into fishing is growing, and I think having people like you and other ladies that are doing it and doing the pro tournaments and stuff is really helping to pave the way and make that shift.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, definitely.
a long way to go still.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's like even at my local tournaments, I'm like, okay, I need to put the boat on the trailer perfectly because if I don't, this is going to be posted on social media, like Nicole doesn't know what she's doing. Rather, if it was a guy, it'd be like, okay, we're gonna just joke about it and laugh. It's fine.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely a lot more pressure for sure.
So let's talk about, we kind of touched on the high school fishing. Are you seeing more females getting into the high school fishing now?
I am, yeah. When I was competing, I think it was me and one other girl who were involved. And now we have been getting a lot of girls come out for the team, um, not only for the competition aspect, but the camaraderie about it, being outside. That has been one thing with the high school fishing that I love. And the head coach, shout out Jim Bondi, I know he is watching. He's been awesome throughout this whole process and kind of designated our team where there's different tiers. So there's a competitive option you can choose, more of a recreational option. So still getting all of those individuals and kids out there fishing, no matter what their interest in it is or whatever their motive is for it, for sure. But definitely, yeah, I've been seeing a lot more women, a lot more girls going out for high school fishing. College fishing, the same thing, which has been great to see.
Yeah, it's great. That's a great idea, to have both options to be competitive or just kind of
Yeah,
recreational, because the whole, you know, purpose of it is to get these kids exposed to fishing, and then hopefully it's something that they want to carry on and continue passing along to generate, the next
yeah,
generations. So I hadn't really heard of programs doing that, so I think that's a really great idea. And
yeah,
maybe people watching, if you're part of a high school program, that might be something you could look into.
definitely.
Awesome. We
Yeah, it's a great way to get all different, as many kids out there as possible and not completely push, the competitive aspect of it, but really kind of focusing on, as you know, fishing is that lifelong hobby. Anyone can do it, at any age, you can still get out there and go fish.
Yeah, I did a episode with some of the local high school girls that are fishing in the tournament back in
Yeah,
Nashville, and it was just so inspiring. We were at a campground, we are sitting around in a circle, and the girls were just talking about their experience, and they're just as hardcore as the boys are.
yeah,
And they're out there in all kinds of weather conditions, and they don't care. They just
yes,
want to be out there fishing, and there's definitely just as much of that competitive drive, if not
yeah,
more sometimes.
yeah. No, I agree. Yes.
So yeah, I love to see that. But let's shift gears a little bit and talk a little bit more about Freedom Boat Club, since we both
Okay.
have that connection. And if people don't know what Freedom Boat Club is, essentially it's just an alternative to owning a boat. We have locations worldwide. People join the club, and you get to make reservations, take boats out. You even get spur of the moment access as well. And you can just show up, get out on a boat, enjoy your time. We do all the training, so it's a great entry for people that maybe haven't really had a lot of boating experience. And we take care of, making sure everybody's comfortable out there. Unlimited trainings included, so that's a nice benefit. But even for seasoned boaters, it's a
Yeah,
nice alternative to where you might be sick and tired of dealing with maintenance and all the things, cleaning, and this way you can still enjoy boating and not have to deal with all that. So it's a great company to work for. I really enjoy. This is my fifth year working for Freedom Boat Club of Tennessee, and I absolutely love it. But talk a little bit about it. Are there some like kind of tie-ins with fishing?
yeah, so that is going to be one of my big initiatives moving forward. Getting the fishing community really involved and kind of like you said, Angie, too, getting the awareness out there about Freedom Boat Club and all the benefits it can have for the potential fishing members. So I know myself personally and my family, we're very excited about it because we're going to join even though we have our own boat. But as you know, trying to book different guide trips if you're traveling, that all adds up. Like you said again, Angie, you just show up, you can pay the membership, you can go anywhere, in the country or out of the country. Bring your fishing gear, the boat's ready for you, and you can just get out there and do your own thing. Some stuff in the pipeline, I'm trying to navigate how to hold different member fishing tournaments, which I think will be very cool, of getting the members out there on our FBC boats, bringing my scale, and all the weigh and stuff and doing that. Um, Along with a lot of different meet and greets that I've been trying to plan with. other professional anglers tied in with Brunswick, with Lowrance or Mercury, and doing little meet and greet sessions, but also going over the different electronics and hosting electronics seminars as well. But yes, lots and lots of exciting things in the pipeline with FBC and the fishing community. So I am very pumped about it.
That's very exciting. Yeah, that's one of my favorite things is to, I spend a lot of time down in Florida.
Yeah,
And of course, fishing's huge down in Florida. And so to just be able to hop on a center console, go out, do some inshore fishing, and the tie-in with Brunswick is incredible
yeah,
because Brunswick, we've got Lowrance, Simrad, Mercury, all kinds of different brands that are huge in the fishing industry and electronics that you need to be successful out on the water
yeah,
and I love the electronics class ideas because technology is just ever changing and
yeah.
evolving and getting more sophisticated and a lot of people don't know how to properly work the graphs and stuff, so
Yeah.
that's great. And we do in Tennessee, and I know some of the other Freedom Boat Club locations have some type of variation of a group just for the lady members. And
Yeah.
so we have our Freedom Boat Sisters of Tennessee group that we've been doing for a couple of years now, and we try to get together every month or so and do some kind of different activity so the ladies can kind of get to know each other. Sometimes it's going out on a boat with the captain and they can ask questions and stuff like that. But we've done like a fishing day where we actually didn't go out on the boats fishing yet. That might be something we do down the road, but we did just going out to area that had a bunch of fishing piers and just it's so
Yeah.
much fun. So
I
many different,
love that.
yeah, so many different ways that you can incorporate fishing with the Freedom Boat Club.
Yes, I may also be piloting that idea that you guys already implement. That's awesome of doing a women specialized event. Because, like you said, um, FBC as a whole, it's awesome for women who want to get into boating because you have those unlimited classes, the training. A lot of times, I think it's just getting people onto the boat and feeling comfortable. You know, everyone loves being on the water for the most part. You know, at least I think everyone loves being on the water. But
It's hard to
um,
imagine somebody that doesn't, but everybody
yeah,
is different and has their own different interests. But because we're so passionate about it,
yeah,
sometimes it's like, what do you mean you don't love being on the water?
I know, I feel the same way.
And it's so good for your soul and
Yeah,
everything to connect with nature and it's relaxing and yeah, but it's not for everybody.
yes, yes,
So that's really exciting, and I can't wait to see what you do uh,
yeah.
with all of that. And hopefully, it will spread because you're in your region, but you know other people, I'm sure, will see what you're doing and want to follow suit. So
Yes, I hope so. And the marketing team is so wonderful with Freedom Boat Club too, that we are always just bouncing ideas off one another, seeing if this works, let's bring it to our territory. Kind of just how you did, Angie, of that women angling group or women boating group. That's definitely something that everyone can implement at the different clubs too.
yeah, and it's funny once we started that, and the husbands and other male members kind of got wind of what we're doing. They kind of a little bit jealous, like they're like, I want to
Yeah,
have our own guy group, and that's something we're working on. But it's nice to have a member ambassador to kind of help with that. So
yeah,
I think we've got a guy that wants to kind of jump in and start doing some guy group activities
awesome.
as well.
Yeah,
So yeah, it's just a good way to connect. We're not just a boat club, but a social club as well, and so that's
yeah,
another nice benefit of being part of it. Um, so what? We'll kind of go back to fishing a little bit. What advice would you give to young girls looking into getting into fishing?
I mean, the biggest thing, like you said before, Angie, and we discussed, is it's becoming so much more popular now, than even when I was in high school, just starting out. But reach out to me. I can list my socials if you need, any direction. Reach out to anyone on social media that you may see. I love that Bass is doing a very big initiative this year of getting a few different women anglers. They're actually supporting them, getting them, trucks, supporting them fishing the different opens as a co-angler. That's been huge of just getting the awareness out there. But also for the women, reach out, see if you have any local tournaments, start smaller. And you can always ask the tournament director. I know I get messages and calls of, hey, does anyone need a co-angler? That would be a great way to just connect with someone. But otherwise, just, go out there, go to the different seminars that they have at, if it's Bass Pro or your local tackle shops. But definitely just go out and try, go to some different local tournament weigh-ins just to get to know people. And like you said, fishing is such a niche thing, but it is such a huge community. So once you get involved in it and you start meeting different people, it's a very small community, but extremely large at the same time. Just how you and I met. Okay, we both love, fishing. We both work at Freedom Boat Club, and now we're doing a podcast together. It's awesome. So
Yeah,
yes, just don't be timid, don't be worried about it. Don't be scared if you're going to mess up or ask questions when you're out there. Just go get on the water, watch YouTube videos, learn different things, and as you know, fishing, you're always learning. There's always something new to learn.
absolutely, always. And if your school or community doesn't have a club, you could always start asking around about starting one. There may be somebody in your school or community that would be willing to step up and get something started, or you could even do it yourself.
Yeah, definitely, definitely.
Very cool. Let's see. I'm looking at my notes over here on the
No problem.
make sure we didn't miss anything, but I will put your socials link to this in the show notes. So the description.
Perfect.
If you're listening to this on one of the podcast platforms, all you got to do is click on the episode, and you'll see the show notes, and you can connect with Nichole if you have any questions. I know she'll be happy to help you out.
Yep.
Uh, so yeah, do you want to share any of your socials now, just so people listening can find you?
Yeah. Yeah. So my Facebook is just Nichole Mara Fishing. So just my name and fishing. Instagram is N Mara Fishing. And then as far as Freedom Boat Club, please go and follow all of our pages, the same thing on Facebook, Instagram. Usually it's like FBC Chicago. You can stay tuned for all the events we're hosting there. FBC Wisconsin, FBC Chain of Lakes, and then FBC Worldwide. So you can see what Freedom Boat Club as a whole is doing all over the world, which is awesome.
Yeah, it's fun to follow, and I get excited when I see all the different pictures of members
Yeah,
taking boats out at beautiful locations, and sometimes fish catches and stuff like
yeah.
that. So, very cool. Any final words of encouragement or advice? You've shared so much great stuff. So
You know what? Thank you again so much for having me, Angie. It has been a blast, and I really look forward to hopefully connecting with you again and getting on the water, and seeing you at Freedom Forum again next year. But the one word or the one statement I can say is just do not be afraid to follow your dreams and try. As Mike Iaconelli said, never give up, you know, just always get out there. Fishing and boating as a whole, you're always learning new things. There's going to be mistakes. Just try and let it go, move forward, and definitely try and find that community, wherever you are located, whether it's fishing, boating, um, because some of the friends, or most of the friends, I should say, I have are from the fishing community. You know, you just have that passion together, you have the same interest. You never don't have something to talk about when it comes to fishing or boating. So they have definitely been my strongest and happiest relationships and friendships that I have grown along the way.
Yeah, that's so true. And through me doing this podcast, all the people I've gotten to meet, like you and all the other guests I've had on the show, and we all share that passion. Like down here in Florida, now there's a group of us ladies that have gotten together several times and just done different fishing adventures and watching the boat sisters. That's been another really fun thing because they all have that passion for boating, and
Yeah,
there's never a lack of things to talk about, and now they're starting to get together on their own and like go out on boats together, and
that's great.
yeah, it's just awesome to see. So, well, I want to thank you for taking some time out of your day. I know it's in the middle of the day, so if you didn't catch this live, no worries. Feel free to put any comments in the comments if you have questions. Reach out. We're both of us are happy to help. And thanks everybody, and thanks Nichole.
Yes, thank you so much, everyone, and thank you again, Angie.